Well, at this point, you should have a concept of the meaning of the different units in the imperial and metric system, and a little bit about how to convert from one unit to another and how they compare and relate. In this video, I want to look specifically at one method for converting between units, and that's called unit analysis. Unit analysis is based on a very simple idea in math, and that's the idea that if you take a number and you multiply by 1, you will get the number you began with. Any number multiplied by 1 will give you the number you began with. Now, the number 1 can look a lot of different ways. It doesn't have to look like the number 1. For example, 7 divided by 7 is 1. So therefore, if we take 2 and we multiply by 7 over 7, we're going to get 2. Or if we take 5 and multiply by 10 over 10, because 10 over 10 is 1, 5 times 1 is 5. So that idea of a number multiplied by 1 equaling itself, very important. Now here is how this would apply, or could apply, to the conversion of units. Let's take something very simple like the fact that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. All right. Because 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, that means that 12 inches divided by 1 foot, or 1 foot divided by 12 inches, because these things are the same, that would equal, guess what? 1. Something divided by itself is 1. The two things don't have to look alike, they just have to be alike, and they are. 12 inches divided by 1 foot is 1. So we're going to use that idea to convert 5 feet. Here's how we would do it. If we have 5 feet and we want to convert it into inches, okay, so we want to go feet to inches, and we want our two quantities to be equal to one another in the end. So we want this to be equal to this. What we have to do, of course, is multiply by 1. So 5 feet multiplied by 1 will equal something that's equivalent but in different units, in this case inches. Now you might wonder, why did I put the 12 inches over 1 foot instead of the 1 foot over 12 inches? Well, because we're multiplying essentially two fractions here, we know that from multiplication of fractions that the units will cancel out. So if I wanted to get rid of my feet, I'll put my foot units at the bottom, my inches at the top, and then when I multiply the fractions, 5 times 12 inches, 60 inches, over 1 times 1 is 1, so I get 60 inches. So that's how we're using the concept of 1, the idea that a number multiplied by 1 that will equal itself, to convert between units. Alright, let's use this idea to do some conversions. I'm going to go 114 kilometers into miles. So the first thing we have to do is look on our formula sheet for the conversion between miles and kilometers, and that is that 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers. Alright, so we're beginning with kilometers, and then what we want to do is we want to multiply by 1. So this number in the blue box is 1, and what we want that to give us is our final answer in miles. So we want the kilometers to cancel out. So in the blue box where I have 1 on the bottom, I have to match my units here with here so that they will cancel out when multiplication occurs. And then if kilometers are on the bottom, miles would be on the top. So we would have the 1 mile over the 1.609, that number being 1, and that's giving us miles. So off to the calculator we go. Kilometers cancel out. We are going to have 114 multiplied by 1, don't need to put that in, I guess, divided by 1.609, and that's approximately 71 miles. In our next example, we want to convert 79 inches to a certain number of yards, the most number of yards we can get, the most number of feet, and then the leftover inches. So 79 inches. Now what we probably want to do here is start with the biggest units and work our way down. So the largest of these units are yards. So let's put yards on the top because inches needs to go on the bottom in order to cancel out. Look to our formula sheet and we will see that 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. Multiply the fractions, inches cancels out, which means our units at the end will be in yards. And our formula sheet tells us to go 79, or our calculator, with our calculator we're going to go 79 multiplied by 1 divided by 36. And that'll be 2.194 repeating. Okay, which is telling us that we have 2 complete yards and we have a fraction number of yards. So let's take that fraction bit. We have less than 1 full yard, and let's convert that into, see how many full feet are in that. So we want to convert from yards to feet. So the yards would have to go on the bottom, feet on the top, so that the units cancel. From our formula sheet, we see that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. And if we multiply across, 0.194, a bunch of 4's multiplied by 3, gives us 0.583 repeating. 0.583 repeating feet, which means we have 0 complete feet. Alright, we'll take the fractional bit of that, this number of feet, and we will convert that into our last unit that we're asked for, which is inches. So a conversion between feet, and inches. From the formula sheet, we see that 1 foot is 12 inches. Multiply the 2 fractions together, the feet cancel out, and we are going to go 0.583 repeating, multiply by 12, which gives us essentially, if all our numbers were perfectly accurate, 7 complete inches. And therefore we have established that 79 inches is 2 yards, 0 feet, and 7 inches. Alright, let's do one last example involving mass. And we are going to convert from grams to pounds and ounces. So if you can look on your formula sheet, you will notice on the formula sheet that there is a conversion between pounds and kilograms. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 3,097 grams as 3.097 kilograms because we know there's 1,000 grams in a kilogram. So I'm going to start off with this number of kilograms. And again, I'm going to work towards the larger of the units, which is pounds. And I want to eliminate kilograms, the kilogram units, and I want to get into the pound units. And the formula for that is that 1 pound to 0.454 kilograms will equal what I'm looking for. Multiplication of the fractions. Kilograms cancel out. 3.097 times 1. So 3.097 divided by 0.454 gives us 6.82 and a bit. Dot, dot, dot. The units remaining are pounds. So we have 6 full pounds, and we have a portion of a pound which we can best express in ounces. So let's take the fractional portion, 0.82 and a bit pounds, and let's convert this into ounces. So we have ounces on the top, pounds on the bottom, and the formula sheet tells us that there is 16, or there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. Units cancel out. We got the number 0.82 and a bit multiplied by 16. I go off to my calculator. Let's just take the 6 off of there. Subtract the 6. So there's my as much as the calculator can give me of that number. That number multiplied by 16 is approximately 13 ounces. And so therefore we have converted 3,097 grams as approximately 6 pounds and 13 ounces. And that is the concept of unit analysis for converting units.